So in this lab, we're going to do diffusion. Now here we have iodine mixed with water and cornstarch mixed with water, both which can be bought in a grocery store or drugstore.
And then here we're just pouring a little bit of the iodine, it's mixed with water, and then some of the cornstarch. And you'll see that it turns a blue color. Okay.
Mix it around a little bit.
And then, so here we have our iodine mixture again. And we're going to fill this. And this is a little bag. And it's made to represent our cell. And the bag is like the cell membrane. And then we're going to fill it with the iodine. Yes, that cornstarch mixture. And once we have enough, we're going to tie it off. And then we're going to wipe all the extra cornstarch, if any got on the outside. We're going to wipe that off. Okay. And now we're going to dip our cell into the iodine.
Now, in just a little bit, you'll see that it starts to turn a dark blue. This is the iodine seeping into the cell membrane, or the bag.
And this represents diffusion, which is the cell receiving nutrients and keeping the nutrients that are already in there. And it works because the particles that are in the cell are bigger than the particles coming in, so they can't escape through the pores, but new things can come in through the pores.
See how that's a nice dark blue?
And then we're going to lay it out here, get off all the extra iodine.
And there we go. We have our fully nutrient cell.
Now let's go into an animal cell. An animal cell will always have a cell membrane, which protects the inside of the cell. Most cells have a nucleus, which is the control center of all of the information. It also has cytoplasm, which is the jelly-like fluid in between all the other parts. Mitochondrion is the energy production station, and a vacuole will also occur. That's a cavity that contains a water secretion or liquid. In the next segment, you'll learn more about plant cells and how they differ from animal cells.
Oh, hello. Sorry, I was just studying this leaf. And this leaf are plant cells. Plant cells are different than animal cells. They use cell walls, chloroplast, which contain chlorophyll. Did you know that plants are autotrophs, which means that they create their own food? How do they do this? They do this by breathing in carbon dioxide and releasing oxygen.
But plants don't breathe.
Most people believe that, but the contrary is true. As stated earlier, there are differences between plants and animal cells. Plants have different needs, and so their cells are different.
Oh my gosh, I just love animals. And animals are a great way to show adaptations. Like, do you know the reason why bunnies have long ears? It's to help them hear better.
And did you know that monkeys have long tails to help them keep their balance and seem to create a drainage in their knuckles?
And another adaptation in fish and other sea creatures is their gills, which help them filter the oxygen through the water to breathe.
But I thought fish breathe water.
Their gills help them filter the oxygen through the water. They breathe oxygen just like we did.
Oh, well that's cool.
In the next segment, you'll learn about the systems that go on inside animals.
It's a day later, and the celery that we put in the blue water, if you can see, the leaves are starting to turn blue. And that shows that the phylum in this celery, or the way it brings the water up, that it has brought up the blue water. And if you look, when we break it open, all the veins inside have turned blue. Systems. Let's start out with the first, immune. It protects the body against diseases and viruses.
Then we have the muscular system. There is a misconception that there's only one type of muscle, but there's not. There's three. There's the cardiac, which is the heart, smooth, like the stomach, and skeletal, which were compared. Then we have the digestive system.
The digestive system absorbs nutrients from food, and it includes the mouth, throat, esophagus, stomach, and intestines.
Then we have the integumentary. This is made up of skin, nails, and eyelids, and this protects the inner body against outside forces.
Then the endocrine. It controls the body's daily activities and long-term changes. It is made up of glands that release chemical products, or hormones, into the bloodstream.
Then we have the nervous system, which has two. The central system, which has your spinal cord and brain, and the peripheral system, which has all the other nerves.
Then there's respiratory. This enables a person to breathe, and it includes the nose, pharynx, trachea, and lungs.
Then the circulatory. It includes the heart, arteries, and veins that pumps blood through the body.
Then, now, we have the reproductive system, which passes on the traits and genes.
Then there's excretory. This involves the kidney, urinary bladder, urethra, and it removes the waste.
Finally, there's the skeletal system. The misconception is bones are not hollow, but they actually are. It gives the body shape and allows most organisms to move. Includes all the bones in the body.
Neat.
You will be seeing how a lung and a diaphragm work together in the respiratory system. First off, you will need a water bottle, a large balloon, and a small balloon. What you need to do first is cut off the bottom of the bottle, and then you will get the large balloon and stretch it over, like so. Then what you will do is you will get the small balloon and stick it in the top part of the bottle, and then you will stretch it over, like this. This part, or the will represent your lungs. This part will represent your diaphragm. When you inhale, your lungs expand like this. And when you exhale, your lungs contract like this. Neat.
Levels of organization.
Did you know a cell just by itself is still called a cell?
Yeah, but if you put a bunch of cells together, it's a tissue.
Tissues? I have tissues. Would you like Kleenex or Puff?
No, silly. She means tissues as in the skin. Duh. There's only one.
Actually, that's a misconception. There's 4 types of tissues: muscle, epithelial, connective, and nervous.
Wow. Wait, don't tissues form together to make an organ?
Mm-hmm.
And don't a bunch of organs make an organ system?
Yeah, and then an organism is made up of a bunch of organ systems.
Wow.
Neat.
And here's our wonderful film person, Laura.
Hi.
Woo! Yeah, Laura!
Dude, I don't...